Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to My Little Pony Make Your Mark, Episode 3. So, yeah, this, like I kind of said before last time, this series has been great so far. It really is just, the art animation took a step up, the story's good, the characters are good, it's building up to Opaline and Misty well. And last time we got Twilight, the return of our favorite purple pony princess from Equestria's ancient past. Or at least a recording of her within the crystals. So she left a message for future generations about when the magic would return and how strong it would be at that point, getting stronger than ever, even unlocking a new magic for the Earth ponies. But the difference here is that she's telling them that they have to be careful, that this magical barrier or something around Equestria has also been, like, taken down or something. It's been removed, and that there is a danger now from Opaline. Even though, like, she doesn't fully get that out because the message is cutting in and out at times, we can tell that's what she was trying to say. Opaline so is implied to have been around for a long-ass time. And as an alicorn, that's believable. The question is, why has Opaline attacked Equestria in the past? All we got is that it's like a bid for power. There's got to be more to it than that. Why did she attack Equestria in the past? And what is her true goal and motivation? I feel like there's a lot more to this than we're being let in the know on right from the start. And I like that. I really like that. I think that's a smart move by having us kind of uncovering this mystery as it goes along. And it might even help us uncover a bit of lore and information of the world, of Equestria, throughout all of this time between the generations. We might start to learn more about why everything became the way it is. Did Opaline have some effect on that? Was she responsible for all the pony races turning on each other again? And even the other races leaving Equestria? And then we also have other mysteries building up as well. Like, why is Sparky magic? That's not usual for dragons in this universe. And what does Sparky's magic mean for the future? And on top of that, we have Misty, who is serving Opaline, but is very clearly going to end up defecting to the side of friendship and harmony. That's so blatantly obvious. Because it's very clear that she's not comfortable with Opaline. She's just kind of putting on an air and pretending. But it's also clear that she's not exactly, like, ready to leave yet. She still feels indebted to Opaline for apparently saving her as a filly. And it's very much this kind of, what's it called? Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing. She kind of has, like, this almost Stockholm Syndrome. Not in terms of, like, romantic love or anything, but in terms of a feeling of gratitude and feeling indebted to her. She feels like she can't leave because she would be betraying what Opaline did for her back then. It's similar to Stockholm Syndrome in that way, and it's very unsettling. And again, I kind of compared it to Mother Gothel and Rapunzel from Tangled, and I stand by that. I'm just curious as to where that's going to go and how Misty's going to develop as the series goes along. Also, Misty doesn't have a cutie mark yet. That's kind of important. Is she going to get her cutie mark through interactions with our main five? Because that would be a good enough reason as any to defect if she finds out that her destiny is better tied to, friendship and harmony. But I'm very much into this. Um, and again, as I've stated before, I love the voice actors. They've won me over. Maybe not quite the same again as the original ones from the movie, but I still think they do a fantastic job. Um, Especially Pips. Like Pips VA, it just goes all out, and it's just like it's so good. And Anasani, the only one I know by name, um, she does a great job as Izzy. I don't care what anyone says. I'm really into this. I'm just really into this. Like MLP is back in 2022 with a new series, and it's good, and it's good, and that's what's important to me. I don't expect it to be like the best right off the bat. No one should. Um, Friendship is Magic wasn't the best right off the bat. You have to build up to that, and it's going to be hit or miss with an episodic series. It's going to be like some episodes are better than others. It's just how it works. So, yeah. Either way, we're just going to get into this episode and hope for the best. See what this one has in store for us. So, let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I feel it's pretty obvious to say I really like this episode. Because you guys, as I made clear in the reaction, Pip is my favorite. But I don't know if it was entirely clear that this is my favorite episode so far. The conflict is kind of, I wouldn't say overdone, but it's not anything new. It's been done plenty of times before. The entire thing about sisters or friends getting into an argument, and because they're so different, and then they eventually come to a better understanding and make up and are closer than ever at the end. It's obviously nothing new. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's something we've seen before in so many different places. But as I've probably stated in the past, at least I hope I have, things that have been done before, cliches and whatnot, tropes, are not inherently bad. It just depends on how they're executed. And honestly, I think this was executed well. And honestly, again, I think that this episode needed to happen because of Pip and Zip's characters. They are so different. An episode that highlights that, but also shows that their bond can grow closer even despite their differences because of their just strong as hell love for each other, is something that I feel needs to be showcased with their characters. And you could say to a degree, it was shown in the movie and everything, and it's probably been shown in Tell Your Tale, I'm sure. I've still not continued with that. I plan to, but I haven't yet. But this is something that needed to be shown in the main series too. And honestly, this was just the smartest way to do it. But let's talk about the B plot real quick. Let's just get that out of the way. So there's a small B plot of Sunny trying to distract Queen Haven from the fact that Zip and Pip aren't around, and she's trying to make excuses and all. It's cute, it's fun. Sunny's clearly not good at it, which is adorable. but it's nothing special. It's just kind of there to just kind of explain what's going on that side of things. Um, the best part of it though was obviously Queen Haven's song, even though it was like split up and like not a full song or anything. It was like Queen Haven is singing a rock ballad, and that is fucking amazing. um, but then we also had Misty, who was contributing to the A plot by, on Opaline's orders, trying to trap the princesses, getting them out of Opaline's way for the next stage of her plan. And again, as I stated, Misty was successful. She got them lured into the cave, and she got them trapped. She was entirely successful. The only reason it didn't work out in the end was nothing to do with Misty. But in order to continue manipulating her and everything, you know Opaline's going to hold that against her and make her feel as if it was her fault. So yeah, that's a problem in and of itself. And I definitely think it's going to be one of the contributing factors to Misty's eventual reformation. Now, we didn't have Misty actually actively communicating with anyone yet. That still hasn't happened. I'm waiting for that to happen, but this time she just managed to message photos over social media. I really can't wait to see the actual interactions start to happen. But back to the A plot. So Zip and Pip are starting to argue and everything over this portrait day. It's a day when the royal family gets their picture taken every year. It's just this big kind of event because the picture's put everywhere because they're the royal family. It's the same thing as like any kind of big celebrity in real life, or even, you know, the royal family in real life, speaking for like the UK and everything. It's like, yeah, photos of them are going to be spread everywhere. They're going to be in magazines. They're going to be on the internet. They're going to be all over the place. And it's the same thing here. So it makes sense. And it also makes sense that Pip would be super invested in it while Zip would not. Zip is very much not into the princessy stuff. It's not her thing. We know this. While Pip is very much into it. So it makes sense that they would have some differing views on this all. So Zip wants to just kind of get out of there, play hooky, and she lures and tricks and lies to Pip to get her to join her. And as is stated in the end, her reasoning is she wants Pip to play hooky with her because she wants to spend this day with Pip just doing something else. But she was being selfish. She was trying to force Pip into doing what she wanted to do and not taking Pip into consideration at all. She was trying to just take over completely with the situation. And then the entire time, Pip is, you know, focusing on her selfies and everything, and because of that, Zip gets even angrier with her. And while it's true that maybe Pip could have paid a little more attention to Zip and was maybe a little too focused on the selfies, it's like Zip knows that that's what Pip is into. She knows that that's what Pip's passion is. So it's like, honestly, Pip, and Pip didn't even know this was supposed to be some kind of thing to hang out with. From all of her knowledge, this was only supposed to be just a short mission to get that flower. So there's no reason for Pip to have believed that she needed to actively focus more on spending time with Zip. She was just going out there to lend a hoof if needed, basically. I stand by that Pip really didn't do anything wrong. Again, could she have paid more attention to Zip? Yeah, sure. And she admits that. But honestly, again, with the circumstances behind it all, with the context behind how she was informed about what they were doing, there was no reason for her to think she needed to at the time. Pip was not in the wrong at all. And that's definitely something that's not always shown in these kinds of when this trope is shown in various media. A lot of the times, both characters will be in the wrong. Both of them will have done something negative or said something negative or just, you know, have not been the best. But this is a situation where it's entirely one-sided. And it's just because Zip isn't into this stuff. She's not into Portrait Day, so she tries to get out of it. And not out of a desire to, you know, not be with her family. She very much loves her family. But because she's just not into all of that, you know, makeovers and pretty princess stuff. It's not her thing. And one of the big problems is if she wants others to respect that about her, she needs to respect what other people are into and not into as well. She needs to respect that Pip is very much into selfies and social media and her pipsqueaks. That is super important to her. And trying to minimize that and everything is exceptionally rude. And luckily, she learned her lesson. She understood that what she did was wrong. Granted, it took them being trapped in a cave to do, but still. And of course, after realizing it, she apologized, and she and Pip made up and even sang a song that has deep meaning for them. And it was a beautiful song. Like, the show staff really made sure to make that song extra, like, beautiful to really express the meaning behind it. It needed to be an absolutely gorgeous piece of music because it needed to showcase how strong their bond really is. And then you have the actual portrait. And for once, it's not perfect. It's not pristine and precise. Alliteration. But seriously, they come in for the portrait with seaweed hanging off of them. And they don't take it off before the portrait's taken. They decide to just focus on the important part of it all. Their love for each other. And it makes that portrait the best one they've had. Because it allows it to shine for the better meaning. For a better meaning, I should say, than, you know, just showing off the royal family. It's a great way to close out the episode. Just everything about this episode was really great. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was even infuriating to some points, seeing Zip be as dickish as she was. And it also furthered the plot. Both in terms of Zip's just investment in figuring out what the hell is going on, as well as now Opaline stating at the end that she's going to take matters into her own hooves. Like, shit, what does that mean? Especially with that image of her laughing, but it's like showing Sunny's face and everything. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Is she going to actually go into Maritime Bay disguised as Sunny at some point? And, like, start fucking with other ponies? Because I would be so game for that. Like, that would be fucking awesome. And you can acknowledge when a villain plot is fucking awesome. Even if you think it's, like, obviously a bad thing that they're doing that. It can still be cool. That is such a great idea, and I hope that's where it's going. Because that could really lead to some really fun and crazy moments. Um, but I'd love to hear what you think. Tell me in the comments below, what are your thoughts on episode 3 of My Little Pony Make Your Mark? And for now, thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.